let's slate this, please. Lock it up, please. Lock everything up.
Apple 76, take one. Apple cameras. Mark.
Cameras, let me know. Okay, stand by, everyone. Here we go. And background. Action.
Welcome to the How I Met Your Mother podcast for the episode entitled Oh Honey. This is the 15th episode of the 6th season and the 128th episode of the series. My name is Alec Lev. This week, I went over to the casting room in the How I Met Your Mother offices and was joined by casting director Marissa Ross and casting associate Jessica Ross. So let's just start right at the beginning. What does a casting director do from the moment there's a script until the moment that script is being shot?
A lot of times my job starts way before that there's ever a script. There's just sort of a concept or idea, and somebody from the writer's room comes bounding down to my office, and I gotta go running in there. And we'll brainstorm of an idea. We just sort of have an idea of what a character is going to be, or what a storyline is going to be, and at that point, my job and Jessica's job is to come up with ideas of people that would be right for that role, fun new ideas for have a new recurring role. And then if we get the script or get an outline, then our job is to be ahead of production with reading actors, again, brainstorming actors who wouldn't read, videotaping them, showing them to the producers, and help guiding them in the right direction. But ultimately, it's Craig and Carter's choice. We could just only influence them as best we know how.
And are you involved in every single actor other than background that comes
Anybody
into the show?
who speaks, anyone who utters anything comes through our office first. And even on this show, as you know, that there's so many scenes that a lot of things get cut. And so sometimes even somebody who looks like a background took a week to cast and all their lines were cut down to nothing. So that happens a lot too.
So I think a lot of people have an idea of the audition, the moment of the casting process from
Sure.
what they've seen on TV. Is there something you can tell us about it that we maybe haven't seen?
Well, for this particular show, it's actually easier for an actor. You're sitting in my lovely, very comfortable room with my lovely blue wall where all the actors audition in front of that makes them look beautiful. I have natural lighting. But for this show, the producers aren't sitting in my room, so there's not this pressure cooker of they have to come in, hit their mark, do their line, get out. Instead, it's a much more comfortable environment. They come in, they have their lines. If they don't do it how I think it should be done, we have the opportunity to do it again because we're just videotaping and then sending the selects to Carter and Craig and the writer of the episode, and sometimes Pam, our director. So for this particular show, it's actually easier because those actors have the opportunity to do it again. So my favorite story that I like to tell about what happened in this room once. So the scene was, Jessica knows exactly, I could hear her laughing because she knows exactly what I'm going to tell. So in every episode, I always have it's like gorgeous girl number 1, gorgeous girl number 2, beautiful woman, beautiful angry woman. This particular one was beautiful angry woman. And the sides say, get out right now, throws a vase. Okay. So you would think that one would just go, get out right now, and maybe mime throwing something. You know, that would seem like the logical thing to do. And for some reason, the sides are very thick for this. It was like 3 pages or 4 pages. So this lovely actress goes, get out right now, winds her hand back, and just chucks her sides, her papers, right at me. And I saw it coming at me, and Jessica sort of turned around because she's on the camera, and I thought to myself, Jessica, stop the papers. And she didn't. And then and it happened so fast.
Jessica, why didn't you stop the papers?
But the best part about it, Alec, and then we'll get to the psychological why my younger sister didn't stop the papers, it sliced me right down the middle of my face. It literally gave me a paper cut all the way down my face. And the poor actress is like, I'm so sorry. I will pay for your doctor's appointment. I'm like, I'm not going to the doctor for a paper cut. But the best part about this story, I did not cut her from the tape because she was really good, and she ended up booking the role. So Nobody should ever do that. Nobody should ever throw sides at a casting director's face. But that's the kind of environment here is, you know what? It was an accident. She was really good, and she got it.
And actors, we were always told, when you go into an audition, make a bold choice. That was...
Not quite that bold.
Now we should ask Jessica why she didn't stop.
So, Jessica, what do you do?
Well, I'm sort of the front line of defense, as I like to think of it. So basically, I make the calls to the other assistants of the agents and managers, and when we're putting together a list, I call them to check avails, or Marissa gives me a list of people that she wants me to set up for auditions, so I do that as well. I also am like her girl Friday in terms of the camera work or anything like that. So.
But not Secret Service, apparently. Not protection.
No, unfortunately I failed on that aspect of my job. I'll have to work harder next time.
Okay, so what is the difference between casting and the process of an unknown actor and, for instance, today's guest star is Katy Perry?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, Katy Perry did not come into my beautiful office and audition for the role, and the process of getting Katy Perry to do this has been a long time. We had approached her last year. Obviously, anyone who's a fan knows that she was getting married and engaged and was in and out of India and things like that. But her manager said that she was a fan of the show. She was, her whole team was excited about the idea, and it was just about timing. So. This season, and again, like I said, they sort of have ideas, they plan things much earlier. They had an idea for this character of Honey, and everybody from the get-go said, let's make this work with Katy Perry. And I think I've been working on this, I want to say since like before I even came back from my maternity leave, so October maybe?
A couple months.
It's been a couple months that it's taken a long time.
And what is the working on it? Is it phone calls to representation to... Correct.
It's her schedule. I mean, as you know, she's a very busy lady and she's all over the place. So it's her schedule, it's our schedule, it's where the script's going to land, it's script approval. You know, she's obviously not going to say yes without seeing what the character really is. I mean, we can explain it in an email, but of course she's going to want to see a script or see an outline. So there was a long process with that, and her wanting to sign on for this role, and she did. So once she read the first draft that Carter Bays put out, she loved it, and at that moment the ball was rolling.
Do you find that you have an influence on the story, in that if they're coming to you before a script is written and you're coming to them with a face? We've talked to a lot of the writers about the difference between writing in a vacuum, there's a girl,
sure,
versus writing when they know who's cast already. So when you're bringing someone in, you...
Yes. Yes, I'd like to think so. But in some ways, yes, we had an idea of a love interest, and the love interest changed as we started seeing actresses on who they liked. So it changes. It went back and changed sort of what the character's going to be a little bit, because who we went with is a little bit different than what was originally on the page. So that I would say that happens. That would happen a lot. Will I get credit for it? Probably not. No, but will the writer actually ever give me credit for that? No. Nor do I want it. Please. I love my job, but I do think that definitely influences who things are, especially when we come up with recurring characters. Things sort of get more molded to what those people bring to the table.
Now, I know that Craig and Carter often talk about wanting to give to the fans, and it's why we're doing the podcast, and it's why we do a lot of the special videos online. It feels also like casting big stars is honestly because people like to see them. It's fun. It's fun to see them. Sure. It's also, of course, great publicity. What is your view on it? Why bring in someone who is so big, who is clearly going to be the focal point of the show that is perhaps not about them?
That is a very interesting question, and I think that it's exciting for the fans. It's exciting for the studio who produces the show. It's exciting for our cast members. It's sort of fun when all of a sudden Carrie Underwood last season was on the show, and everybody here in our production office, they were all so excited to meet her, and to sort of a little buzz went through the office that day when she said everyone wanted their picture with her, and she was beyond delightful and wonderful, and I thought it added to it. I thought all the scenes where it was her through time with Barney, I thought that was wonderful, and I thought having somebody like Carrie Underwood do it only made it better. I would hope that it's not just for the sake of adding a celebrity in a moment. I would hope that it sort of adds to it. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
Absolutely. Like, Tim Gunn was another one.
Oh, Tim Gunn.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, even
around the block, there was a line to take a picture with him. We were all so excited, everyone.
I mean, Neil was over the moon. He was so excited to have a scene.
And it makes sense that he'd be his tailor.
Exactly.
It made sense.
That's a perfect example, because the character of Barney, why wouldn't Tim Gunn be Barney's tailor? Of course he would have that guy as his personal tailor. So it was fun, it was a funny moment, and it doesn't really pull us out. No. Because really, that's a great example, Jessica. It's a great example.
Okay, so my last question is, what has brought you to this job? I think that people, when they think of Hollywood, they don't necessarily think of casting director as a job that's something I'd like to do, not knowing really what it is. What has brought you to it?
I fell into it when I was after college. I moved to LA, I think when I was 22, and I loved it. I was an assistant for Robert Ulrich, who is the casting director for Glee, and he was big then too. Years ago, not that many years ago. And I thought I wanted to be a director. That's what I thought I wanted to do. But I loved it. For me, it was just a perfect mix of creativity. I got to interact with actors. I do, on some level, get to direct them in a way, because I sort of have to redirect them and get them to a place that everyone's going to be happy. And be a bit of a lawyer, because a lot of my job is negotiation. So without having to ever go to law school. So for me, I love it. And it's a real people job. I mean, it's a real people-pleasing job. I've got to please the studio and the network and my producers and the writers and really the actors. I mean, I like to think that my reputation is a real actor-friendly casting director. So that's why I'm still here.
And I don't want to cause any problem here. Do you hope to be in that chair one day?
Absolutely. To be honest,
it's the same chair, but just to the left.
Yes.
I would like everybody to know.
I had no idea what I wanted to do. I graduated with an art history degree, so I had no idea. But I always loved films and TV shows and actors, and it was always a passion of mine. So I came out here not knowing, but then I sort of, did an internship, and I actually was the only one interested in casting. Everyone else were actors. But besides that, I just loved it.
I want everybody to know that Jessica worked for other people before she worked for me. Yeah. It wasn't just pure nepotism.
Oh, no.
I've
worked for other casting directors, but it was an accident really for me, but I absolutely love it.
And Jessica is a walking IMDb page. I mean, she knows more. You name any movie, she knows who's in it. We actually did an interview for an assistant once, and he claimed to know a lot. I said, Jessica's going to challenge you, and if you win, you get the job. And he won, and he got the job.
He won, but I did a rematch because, I couldn't let that pass, and I won. So we're even. We're actually really good friends. We're both really good friends now, so it's all good. I might have let him win. Who knows?
Anyway.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. Where do I leave my headshot?
The giant basket full of papers.
That's the garbage.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. And that'll do it for this week's podcast. Remember to watch How I Met Your Mother on CBS Monday nights and every day in syndication. Check your local listings. Learn more and watch exclusive clips at cbs.com. Find us on Facebook, on both the How I Met Your Mother page and the Robin Sparkles fan page, and follow us on Twitter at @Himium_CBS, HimiumProd, Himium_Writers, and Bros Life. My name is Alec Lev, and thanks for listening.